fair.
I
We'll live
googled
in
Twilight
such.
Zone just to see what we were getting into. Like,
All
Recording
right,
what is
started,
recording
Twilight
people.
Zone?
start. Yes, Namita, take it out.
Am I audible and visible clearly? Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Namita, your surgeon at arms, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to meeting number 345, part B of Amrita Toastmasters Club. Here at our club, we foster a supportive and encouraging environment where members can hone their communication and leadership skills, paving the way for self confidence and personal growth. Before we kick off today's meeting, I kindly request everyone to keep your microphones on mute unless you're speaking to avoid background noises. Switch off mobile notifications or put them on silent mode to minimize distractions. Turn on your cameras if possible. We'd love to see your smiling faces and foster a more engaging session. Also, note a few important guidelines. Discussions on sex, religion, politics, as well as mentions of our institution are strictly prohibited. Let's maintain a professional tone throughout. Please avoid swearing or use of any offensive language. For our speakers, a gentle reminder. Please be mindful of the time limit. Exceeding the time limit may lead to disqualifications. At the end of the meeting, a link to voting and feedback forms will be shared in the chat. Please do take time to fill them out. Without further ado, I now hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ishita.
Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Namita, for that wonderful intro. And yes, welcome everyone to meeting 345, part B. And you might have noticed we're doing things a bit differently today. It is a Thursday and not a Friday, which is why I was so late to the meeting because I forgot that today we had a meeting. So yeah, we're switching things up a bit so that we can kind of, take into account everyone's schedules for the vacation. And on that note, thank you all for joining us for this meeting, despite your very busy vacation plans and stuff. So today we've got a couple of special things. First of all, we've got a very big prepared speech session by Toastmaster Aarti, and we also have a wonderful table topic session with the theme Twilight Zone. So I hope you're all ready for it. And I think before we begin the meeting, we have a couple of guests with us, and I would like to take a moment to introduce them. So to the guests, introduce yourself and let the meeting know what is your biggest fear. Let's start with guest Adwish.
Good evening. My name is Dwight. I'm a computer science student, currently in my fourth semester. I've been coming to these sessions 4 or 5 times, I think. So my biggest fear is stage fear. I started coming here, get rid of that. Apparently, you can't get rid of that in one day. So I stick to some more sessions. So stage fear. That's it. Good luck to all the speakers, and thank you for having me.
You guessed Advait. I think that is a pretty common fear for some people. You start sweating, your hands start shaking when you have stage fear. But yes, thank you for sharing that. We also have with us guest Abhinav. Guest Abhinav, could you please introduce yourself and tell us what your biggest fear would be?
Hello everyone, I'm Abhinav. I'm from EC department and I'm moving on to my third year of fifth semester. So my biggest fear, I have not noted down any of them, or it's just I have not really noticed much. But yes, if it's one thing, that will be quite common, and that is I'm sometimes not confident enough when it's needed to be, confident, and just sometimes I'm just not in that right position to speak out my thoughts. And that is why one of the reasons why I joined this club, in hopes that I can become a better version of myself in that particular aspect. So thank you for having me here.
Thank you for joining us, guest Abhinav. I think that is also something very relatable. Oftentimes life doesn't go the way you want it to go, and you kind of develop small fears like this along the way. But hope you can find your path with this club. And since you both did tell us about your fears, let me tell you about mine. You both gave us very deep philosophical fears. I'm scared of the dark, everyone. Let me put it a bit more lighthearted. You put me in a room and you switch off the lights, you will hear me scream. So I hope that makes you feel better about your own fears. But yes, we shall now move on. And with that, we would like to officially start meeting 345 B. And I now pass over control to the general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Ishita, which is myself. So control has been passed. Yes. Hello, everyone, and I shall be the general evaluator for today's meeting. So, the role of a general evaluator is pretty simple. You basically keep control, watch over the entire meeting, and towards the end of the meeting, I will be delivering my report on the good parts of the meeting, on what all we could have improved, so that we can refine ourselves for the next meeting. And to assist me, I have my tag team with me, starting with the timer for the day, Toastmaster Siri.
Hello everyone, I'm going to be today's timer. So as a timer, my job is to help all speakers stay within the allotted time and develop their time management skills. So usually a speech is for 5 to 7 minutes, but today we have a special speech by Aarti, which is going to be for like 18 to 22 minutes. So for this speech at 18 minutes, I will be showing the green card, and at 20 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card, and at 22 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. And for table topics, the speech is usually for 1 to 2 minutes. I will be showing the green card at 1 minute, and at 1:30 at 1 minute 30 seconds I'll be showing the yellow card, and at 2 minutes I'll be showing the red card. And for the individual evaluators, it is 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be showing the green card at 2 minutes. At 2 minutes 30 seconds I'll be showing the yellow card, and at 3 minutes I'll be showing the red card. And each speaker gets a 30-second grace time. And if you exceed the time, you will be disqualified. I back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you for that timer, Toastmaster Siri. Next up, we have the R counter for the day, Toastmaster Shreya.
Good evening. Guess who's back? Back again. Our counter's back. Tell a friend. Yes, this is Shreya Sajeev, your our counter for the third meeting in a row. At this point, I'm less of a role filler and more of a franchisee. This is our counter three, the reckoning, coming soon to a Toastmaster near you. Rated you for. Some say I volunteered, others whisper I was cursed by a mystical filler word spirit. Either way, I've become the guardian of grammar, the watchdog of waffling, the Sherlock Holmes of so. Armed with nothing but a tally sheet and a midly judgmental expression, I will track every like, and very verbal tumbleweed that rolls across your speech. You pause awkwardly, I perk up. You say and I'm already writing it down. Newbie or veteran, table topics champ or grammarian in disguise, no one escapes my filler word fury. Even my own mirror trembles when I rehearse. And when the meeting ends, I will rise once more like a tired but dedicated vigilant to deliver my report, full of stats, sass, and possibly some sound effects. So choose your words wisely. Toastmasters, for the third time, I'm watching. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya, for that wonderful introduction. Wait a minute. Oh God, wonderful. By the way, I don't think I've ever seen a tag role player introduce themselves like that. But yes, I think you set the tone for your role wonderfully. Moving on to our final role player, our grammarian Toastmaster Harshit.
Hello, everyone. So, I am the grammarian for the day. My job is to keep track of good and bad uses of grammar. Speaking of good uses of grammar, the counter's introduction is going on my report for sure. I don't know what that was. My God, that was amazing. Also, the word for the day, I was very, very tempted to pick a word from Twilight, the books Twilight, and then decided against it because maybe not the best of things to do. So, yeah, the word for the day is seraphic, which means angelic, heavenly, or blissfully pure. Uh, an example use of the word would be she sang with a seraphic voice that silenced the room. The word is often used to describe a person's expression, music, or atmosphere that feels divinely peaceful or radiant. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, grammarian Toastmaster Harshita. And with that, we shall officially begin the Fed speech section of our meeting today. So today we have a very, as you might have heard, a very perhaps long and a special speaker for today, and that is Toastmaster Aarti. And before I call upon Toastmaster Aarti to the stage, I would like to call upon her individual evaluator, which is also me again. So I'm terribly sorry for all of you who are waiting for me to shut up. I will after some time. So yes, hello everyone. This is Toastmaster Ishita, who will be Toastmaster Aarti's individual evaluator. So today, Toastmaster Aarti will be attempting her L5 P2, that is the second project of her fifth level. And the purpose of this project is for the member to kind of practice developing and presenting a longer speech. For example, 18 to 22 minutes of speaking. And this is actually one of the hardest projects in the Toastmasters pathway because, for starters, you have to keep the audience and yourself focused for 18 to 22 minutes. And you kind of have to, the main purpose is to help the speaker build the skills necessary to engage an audience for an extended period of time, right? So, as Toastmaster Aarti's individual evaluator, I will be trying to see if she's achieving her project purpose. I will be evaluating her on her content and her delivery style. And with that, Toastmaster Aarti, I wish you all the very best. Back to the general evaluator. Control has been passed. So, yes, Toastmaster Aarti, are you ready? All right. Toastmaster Aarti, journey of takeoffs. Journey of takeoffs, Toastmaster Aarti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. Am I audible, visible to everyone? Just confirm. Okay. So, a quick question before we start. How many of you have stayed in a place for more than 7 years? Just can I have a raise of hands? Okay. Whoever is raising your hands, I am jealous of all of you. And if you aren't raising your hands, don't worry, we are on the same boat. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you ever met a person whose parent works in the government and you ask them, which city are you from? Then they cannot give a definite answer for that. Same case with me. I was born in Coimbatore. But if you ask me any question about Coimbatore, then I cannot answer that. Because even though I was born in Coimbatore, I was taken on a journey of takeoffs as soon as I was born. And I realized that this journey of takeoffs cannot be explained in one speech. In fact, I need a presentation for that. So I have made a presentation which explains my journey of takeoffs. And I would like to take you all on that journey with me. So I'll just share my presentation. Okay, is my presentation visible to all of you? Just a thumbs up would be fine. Okay. Thank you so much. So I was born on 6th October 2004 at Rao Hospital, Araspuram, Coimbatore. And I did not stay there for a long time because I was taken on my first ever journey on the flight when I was 40 days old from Coimbatore to Mumbai. And in Mumbai, of course, I did not have any perfect memories of my time in Mumbai because I was barely 40 days old. And of course, for a 40-day-old, you don't have any memory. But when I asked my mother, she told me that in my childhood, I was a very silent child. I did not give her any trouble when I was young. But if I gave her any trouble, any small trouble, which caused a very big headache for her, was my weight. When I was born, I was 3.8 kgs. So it was very difficult for her to carry me everywhere. But then, of course, I was not a fussy child. So thankfully, my mother did not face any difficulty while raising me when I was a baby. 2 years had passed by. And then my father got transferred to Saudi Arabia. Guys, 1 second. Okay, apologies for that issue. So my father got transferred to Saudi Arabia. And if I had to describe my stay in Saudi Arabia, then this was my first ever picture when I was in Saudi Arabia. This was taken during my first day in school. So my father had this very weird habit of having a video diary. And in that video diary, he used to record everything, all our first instances, our journeys as a child. He used to record everything. And that video diary had it. And this particular photo was taken from that. You might be thinking that I look very serious or I look very tired. But the truth is, I was frustrated with life. I was sleepy. actually, because that was my first day in school. And I asked my mother, what kind of baby I was when I was young. She told that I was silent. Of course, as I mentioned, when I was from the age of 1 to 3, I was a very silent child. But as I grew up, I began to create a lot of fuss. And that was mainly because of going to school. I hated going to school. In fact, whenever the topic came of going to school, I used to come up with some very innovative excuses that nobody would believe in. For example, I used to tell my mother that, Amma, I'm unable to open my eyes. I can't wake up to go to school. Amma, my bag is very heavy. I can't lift my bag. I can't go to school. Amma, my leg is very itching. I can't go to school. And so many other weird excuses like that used to come. But then my mother used to struggle to send me to school because, of course, with all my innovative ideas to skip school, my mother did find it a very big difficulty to send me to school, and I used to go to school without any option. But at the end of the day, I was blessed with a very cute family because whatever it is, my family was a very supportive family ever since I was young. Of course, they did not support me when I did not want to go to school, but they did support me at every other point. If I wanted to celebrate my birthday in a very grand way, they used to pay away with my tantrums, and they used to help me a lot. And like that, a few years had passed, and when I was 4.5 years old, my father got transferred back to Mumbai. Mumbai is, of course, a very different city. Whenever the word Mumbai comes, some of you might think about the local train or the food. The first thing that comes to my mind is the crowd. I was an introvert in my childhood, and crowd or anything related to people frustrated me a lot. And if I had to describe my life using one picture, then that would be this one. As you can see, a very young child hanging on that monkey bar. I don't know what it is called. A monkey climber hanging over there. It is something that describes me. And the shirt, if you watch carefully, then that shirt is a Hannah Montana t-shirt. And I remember when I was 8 or 9 years old, Hannah Montana was very trending. And I loved Hannah Montana, and that was my favorite shirt. I still remembered. And the monkey bar is a place where I used to live, where I used to spend my time alone. That is the part of the playground which gave me a lot of joy, and I'm really thankful that that place was there and that place was there. Coming to school, uh, I was a very below average student. I'll be very honest. Below average in the sense there were instances where I scored 0 out of 10 in tests, but there are also instances when I scored 9 out of 10 in the same subject. And you might be thinking that I am average, but I'll be very honest, I was just an inconsistent 7-year-old at that point. At that phase, I was actually introverted child, of course, and a very boring one, I would say. And whenever parents teachers meeting used to come, all the children will receive complaints like your child is not studying well, your child is talkative, your child is doing this, your child is doing that. My mother, on the other hand, only received 2 complaints. Number one, ma'am, your daughter's handwriting is terrible, which is true. And number two, ma'am, your daughter is not talking at all. That was something which my mother found very surprising. Because at home, if I open my mouth, then it won't close until I go to sleep. And if I start talking, then my voice will be audible to my neighbor. That's how loud I was, and that's how talkative I was. And my mother was finding it hard that I was not talking in my class. The truth was that number one, I was an introvert. I don't open up to anybody apart from my parents or my sister. Whatever I do, whatever mess I create, it's only to my family. Apart from that, to outsiders, I was very silent. And maybe it's because of the cultural difference or something, because most of my classmates, they were Marathis, Gujaratis, etc. And I was a Tamilian, and a very traditional conservative Tamilian, to be honest. I was at that phase, I did not relate to anybody. So that became very difficult for me. Still, a few years had passed, and during my fifth grade, my father got transferred to Chennai. You might be thinking that as my father got transferred to Chennai, it might be easy for me because I was born in Coimbatore and Tamil Nadu is my home state. So of course there is nothing to be scared about. But the truth is, I did find it a difficulty in Coimbatore, in Chennai also. The main reason is my own language. Even though I am a Tamilian and I spoke in Tamil at home, problem was that the accent of Tamil that I usually speak at home is not the accent that normal Tamil people in Chennai use. It is a little bit different. And when I spoke in Tamil to my classmates, I spoke it with an accent which does not seem like a traditional Tamilian. So they thought I'm showing a lot of attitude while speaking, which is not true. And I thought that maybe I should improve upon my Tamil more. So I started talking in Tamil more. I started talking to my parents. I spoke to my relatives. I started learning Tamil from my own mother. And somehow I became more fluent in Tamil. But then after a few days, even though I did learn Tamil, I thought that maybe I learned Tamil because of peer pressure and nothing else. But the truth is, sometimes peer pressure is also good because learning your mother tongue is no harm. And even though I can't say that I'm very fluent in Tamil, I can say that I do talk well. And of course, it's my mother tongue. So I always try to be more fluent in my mother tongue first before I learn any other language. Coming to my classmates, as you can see this picture, 10th B forever. This is my 10th standard classroom, 10th standard classmates, and these people are a huge part of me growing up. That I was in Chennai from the age of 10 to 15. That is the age of peak adulthood, where you are figuring out life, on how life works. And these people were there for me at every point. They were the people who actually introduced me to so many adulthood terms like puberty or crush, single, committed, so many other words like that. If I know these words, it's only because of these people. And growing up with them was actually a different experience. But also, there was also a sense of politics within us because we were culturally divided. There was this mentality that Hindi people should only talk to Hindi people, Tamil people should only talk to Tamil people. And me knowing both, I did not know whom to talk to. But the good thing about that, a good thing around that was that even though I did not have any friend circle because I did not fit in into anywhere, I did have one person who was there with me ever since I joined the school, was there with me until the very end. And that was none other than my classmate, who was also my cousin, by the way. Her name is Swarna. She is actually a person with whom I had a very unexpected friendship. She's actually my cousin, and in childhood, whenever we used to meet each other, we used to fight a lot. A lot means it's way too much. And we used to hate each other. We never used to talk, actually. The only conversations we have are fight. But once we became classmates, I don't know how, we became very close. We couldn't imagine our lives without each other, and we became a huge part of ourselves that now I think that if Swarna was not there in my life, I don't know what I would be doing right now. I don't know which part of me would be who I am today. So whatever it is, it's only because of Swarna, and I don't think this friendship would be found anywhere else. Not only I met a bunch of interesting people in Chennai, another thing that I learned a lot in Chennai was that I have to step out of my comfort zone. And even though comfort zone in the sense, my mother saw me and she thought that I was always in my room, which is actually true. I did not go out. I was just stuck in my room. So my mother decided to admit me to music or dance classes. And that's when I decided to learn Bharatnatyam. If you see this picture carefully and see very closely, then you can see my makeup is a little messed up, which is actually true. The thing is, my relationship with dance is very weird because even though dance was very interesting and I had a lot of fun learning dance, the sad part is that I did not like it. In fact, performing it is something which I did not like. I did like watching dance. I love to vibe to dance moves. But when it comes to performing, I wasn't able to do the justice that Bharatnatyam deserved. So I decided to take a break from Bharatnatyam after this stage performance. And I took a break for a brief time. And Till now, I did not rediscover my love for dance, but I hope I do it in the near future. But not only dance, I also learned Carnatic music when I was in Chennai. Of course, Carnatic music is something which I have been learning, but in Chennai, I did my first ever stage performance. That is the place where I was able to step out of my comfort zone. Because if you think about the 5-year-old Aarti, she wouldn't believe that she went on a stage. She was just a reserved person who did not want to get out of her comfort zone. But once I stepped out of my comfort zone, I realized the world around me. I realized the confidence that I had was still in a very good way. And I wanted to develop that confidence even more so that I can step out of my comfort zone. And I am grateful for my mother who forced me to go into music or dance classes, even though I was not grateful for that back then. I'm very happy that she made me enroll into music or dance classes because I don't know what I would do without music or dance. A few years passed by. My 10th grade was over, and my father got transferred to Hyderabad. And the funny part is, my father got transferred in the year 2020. And most of us would know what happened in the year 2020, COVID-19 lockdown. That was a phase which was actually a that was actually a phase of heaven for introverts like me who did not want to get out of their house. But then, of course, it was a very frustrating period. I was moving to a new city during the lockdown, which was a huge headache. I remember wearing the mask and all the kit that we used to have in the airports in order to travel from one city to another. And then over there, we had to get adapted to the new place and the language. Telugu was a language for which I did not have any exposure to. But still, I managed to learn a few Telugu words for survival, and I'm very happy to learn them. But yeah, it was a very difficult phase for us. And another part was that as it was online, I again did not get any good friends. Even though I used to text people on Team via Teams. Teams is where our classes used to be conducted. And through Teams, I did text a few people, but then there was no connection between us. But during our 12th standard farewell, I met 3 people who easily became a part of my life in no time. Of course, our meeting was very random. Actually, we just met each other during our this thing during our farewell. We were sitting next to each other. Something clicked in, and we started talking. After our exams, we decided to go on a mall and just catch up on each other. We started talking, and somehow I don't know what happened, but we became so close that we didn't want to leave each other. But the sad part is, we became close when 12th standard was ending. And not only was I shifting to another city for my education, but my father also got transferred from Hyderabad to Mumbai. So even during summer break, I can't visit them. And that made me feel very sad. The only good friend circle that I have to leave them because of my father's job. And I was very sad because of that. But the good part is, our relationship is still strong because one of these people over here, she lives in Sweden, another one is in Hyderabad, and the third one, she lives in Vijayawada. But still, whenever we get time, we catch up on each other through a video call, and we talk as if there is no tomorrow. I remember a call when we spoke to each other after 3 or 4 months, and we spoke for almost 4 hours, and we did not know how time passed by. And this is a friend circle that I'm very grateful for. And I hope that this friend circle is there with me until my graduation or even beyond that. After my 12th grade, the next takeoff came into picture. That is Coimbatore. Coimbatore was my birthplace. But the thing is, I felt very lonely over there. The main reason was because I started missing these people, my parents and my elder sister. These people were there for me ever since I was born. Whenever I felt lonely, they were there for me. In Mumbai, when I felt lonely, they were there. When I was figuring things out in Chennai, they were there. When I wanted to be more mature, they were there. In the good part or ugly parts of my life, my parents and my sister were always there to support me. And now that I have shifted to a different city, this same connection is becoming very, this same connection was becoming very lost. And I felt very bad because of that. But if there is something that this journey of takeoffs as a whole has taught me something, then that is the fact that life goes on. No matter what you do, no matter how your life goes, it will go on in the end. Of course, my father will get transferred in the future, and I have to shift to a new city. My life will go on in that phase. I have to get adjusted to that place, and I have to be ready to leave that place as well. If my adulthood is becoming very hectic, then that is how my life will go. And it will go on like that, no matter what. It is only our willpower and our determination which would eventually lead us to the place we want to be. So through my journey of takeoffs, what message I would like to deliver is that wherever you go, there will be something that you will learn. And whenever you learn that, your life will go on the way you want to be. Of course, there will be bottoms which you have to hit, but at the end of the day, your life will go on and you will eventually survive the life which you want to live. Thank you. Back to the general evaluator.
Right. Thank you, Toastmaster Aarti, for that wonderful travelogue of thoughts. I think that was a truly delightful speech, but more on that later. Next up, we will be having the table topic session. But before that, today's table topic session will be evaluated by Toastmaster Namita, individual evaluator, Toastmaster Aditya. So before I call upon Toastmaster Namita for the table topic session, I call upon Toastmaster Aditya, the individual evaluator, brief us all about his role as the individual evaluator and Toastmaster Namita's project. Toastmaster Aditya?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. Am I audible, everyone? Just like thumbs up, something, some semblance of thank you. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Our ever seraphic Toastmaster Namita is going to conduct a table topic session. This is part of her level 2 project 2, and it's an active listening project. So here's how it goes. She gives us all impromptu topics, and after we deliver our speeches, I will let Toastmaster Namita elaborate on the rules later. She's the master here. She has to make short, reaffirming statements. To give you an example, let's say we had to do such a thing for Toastmaster Aarti's wonderful speech. We'd have to start by saying, okay, I love the fact that you've connected your journey with your friends, with Swarna, and with everyone else along your journey so that you never lost hope. That's a short statement. It reaffirms that we listened to her, and it's niche enough to show that you actually listened to the speech. This is what is expected of Toastmaster Namita, so I look forward to it. And whether she takes the angelic route as she always has, or she puts you all to the test, I will be entertained regardless. So, all the best, Toastmaster Namita. Back to you, General Value.
Toastmaster Aditya. With that, we shall now begin the table topic session, and I now pass over control to Toastmaster Namita, our table topics master.
Hope I am audible and visible. Thank you so much. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm back, but this time as the table topics master of today's meeting. This is my first experience taking a table topic session, so fingers crossed. Okay, today, let's go a bit philosophically. I invite you to step beyond the familiar into a space not bound by logic, not limited by time, where reality blurs with imagination and every question comes with a twist. You've just crossed over into the twilight zone. What comes to each and every one of your minds when I say the word divide? Can I get one or two responses, please? Anybody who wants to say
Can
something
you
about
repeat
the word
the
twilight?
word
Twilight.
Vampire Diaries?
Obviously, I should have expected this, especially from Ishita. No matter, let's continue. This is going to be an interesting segment where everything is going to be mysterious, everything is going to be surreal, and nothing is going to be real. So, we are going into a dimension where everything is strange, curious, and nothing is quite what it seems. You might wake up in another person's body, you might argue with your future self or your past self, you might face your clone, or discover that your best friend is dash, dash, dash. Let's see what happens in the session. So, are you guys all ready for today's table topic session, the Twilight Zone? Okay, Ishita, I ignored you. With respect, let's move on. Any volunteers? I will wait until one of you volunteers. Okay, time for a twist. Toastmaster Aditya, you are up for the first question.
I would like to state this is not fair. This happens to me every time.
I don't
I'm like the
care.
test dummy for all of the table topics masters of this.
Okay,
Go on,
so you
Toastmasters.
want to pass control to somebody else?
No, I would love to have your topic. Go on.
Because even if you want, I won't. Because you are the first contestant for me.
Go on. I would love to hear your topic.
Okay. Are you a person who writes diaries, Aditya?
Yes, I do keep a personal diary.
Okay, so this question is for you. Your diary entry has been leaked and it has gone viral. The entry from the day I mistook a Zoom call for a mirror is trending. Read it to us.
Very well. Since we're going to embrace the unreal, I would like to state that the following events are of imagination and did not happen. Well, at least not to you. So the day I realized that I accidentally spoke to an entire Zoom meeting as if it was my mirror. I like to say I'm not very confident in front of my mirror. It's like when you look at yourself, most people hype themselves up. They're like, you know what? Today's the day. We're gonna do this. Let's go. And then they have this list of affirmations where we just, you know what? You're confident. You're great. We're gonna keep trying. We're gonna get this eventually. I, on the other hand, am very compromising with myself. I looked into the supposed mirror and I said, let's survive today. Like if all my dreams and hopes aren't dashed by the end of this day, I'll be fine. Let's just not end below zero. Like as a baseline of happiness, zero is good enough. I don't need minuses in my life. Pluses are fine. I love pluses, but I don't need minuses in my life. Just please, for the sake of God. And then I remember going completely philosophical. I started making bets and promises to God. You know how we do this thing with gods where we bargain with them? We go, you know what? If you give me about 25 out of 50 in my computer networks, I'll come to the temple every day for the next year and I'll offer milk to you. And then you start playing games with everyone around you. You know what? If if I get treated right, I'll buy chocolates for all my friends. If Anand isn't annoying today, I will get him a veg puff. If Harshita genuinely puts in some effort, I will appreciate her. And this list goes on. And the moment I realized that my volume was off, I just turn up the volume and I hear a blast of voices, and everyone's just like, so this is what you think of us, huh? This is the day in the life of Aditya. No, no, no. You don't know how much you messed up. And the moral of the story always is that's why it's a diary and that's why you write it. You don't say your thoughts out loud because this is what happens if you think you're talking to a mirror. Back to you, Toastmaster Namita.
Wow, Toastmaster Aditya. Makes very much sense, and it's very relatable to a person who tries to manage a diary but is very unsuccessful in that. And I expected the event to turn out like I would see myself in the mirror, I would admire myself, I would motivate myself, but you took it on a completely reverse direction, you know. Actually, it makes sense. It's nice to hear that there is also such a perspective to this topic. So thank you so much. We got to know your topic. Who next? Any guests would like to volunteer? Okay. Toastmaster Aditya, you raised your hand. Now the question is for you. Now, you just entered your college life. So I guess this would be an appropriate question for you. You wake up and every class is now taught by your most sarcastic friend. What's the first lecture like? Or describe the whole day? You want me to
Just to
repeat the question?
clarify, the entire first day or just one lecture?
No, the entire day is taken by your most sarcastic friend.
Well, it's a lovely day. It's my first day in college. I enter into class, and our instructor starts telling us about more about the college. Uh, to be fair, I don't have to imagine, I hope, because this is exactly how our first day was. Um, I got reminded of a very sarcastic friend at school who used to drop sarcasm left, right, and center in every sentence possible. Um, he started telling us about during introducing us to the history of the institution, telling more and more about its laurels and how the institution was prestigious, uh, well known for getting good studies and for landing good placements. That is, uh, and since we had done our, let's say, groundwork before choosing this college, that was pretty. It sounded sarcastic to me. I can't vouch for the rest of the people, but yeah, it certainly sounded sarcastic to me. And then we were given a huge list of guidelines to follow. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. Given that you are from my own department, I will have to think about this a bit more deeply. Thank you so much for how you felt about your first day. If it had been taken by a sarcastic friend, or as you said, a sarcastic professor. Thank you so much for your view on this topic. Who next? I'm not gonna wait. I am gonna choose. Guest Advait, are you up for the next question?
Yes, sure.
Thank you so much. Okay. I'll give you a small prompt, a story prompt, which you might have to continue. Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
So, it had been 149 days since I last saw another human being. The streets were silent. The cities stood like ghostly monuments to a world that once buzzed with life. I was the last person on earth, or so I believed. But just then, I heard a knock on my door. 3 taps on the ice cold surface. What would you do?
Okay, first, okay, I am stranded. I am alone in this world. Uh, there is nobody. Suddenly, I hear a knock on my door. Okay, what would I do? Firstly, I would I would have a gun with me and I would just shoot it on the door. Whoever it is, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if it's a friend, a human. I don't care. I'll just shoot him in the face and I'll go. I'll go check his body. Apparently, it's the end of the world. I might have studied some skills by now. I think I can revive a person, even if it's a headshot. So I would just revive the person, and I would continue on my journey to find other persons and shoot them in the head and revive them. So that would that would be my mission. That's it. Yeah. So
Sounds very interesting. Killing a person and then going back to revive them. Sounds very impressive and interesting at the same time. I'm definitely coming back to you to get tips on how to revive a person even when he gets a get headshot. Okay, let's move on, guys. Next up, Toastmaster Aarti.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, you are part of a top secret mission, teaching aliens how to use a bathroom. Walk us through your training session and what went very, very, very wrong.
Toastmaster Namita, I shall remember this. You did share this question to me, yes, but I did not expect you to ask this. But okay. An alien, what went terribly wrong? Okay, what went terribly wrong is I was not in the mood to teach because I am not very loyal to my job. So what I did was I took the aliens to the bathroom, I locked them in, ran away, and did not care about anything more. Because here is the thing, they are being taught by a very bad teacher. I'm not a good teacher at all. And for teaching something like this is something that I can't do. So yes, Toastmaster Namita, even though that's your question and you have appointed me for your secret mission, the truth is I successfully locked the aliens in the bathroom and ran away. I don't know what they did, what magic they had, but yes, that's what I did. Back to Toastmaster Namita.
Wow, incredible answer. I hope it was not your bathroom because then you will have an issue with sorting out the rest of the issues if you don't teach them how to use a bathroom properly. So leave the rest to you. You can manage whatever happens henceforth. Okay, let's see who the next culprit or the victim is going to be. Anybody wants to volunteer? Okay, no more waiting. Guest Abhinav, would you like to answer one question?
Sure, why not?
Oh, thank you. Okay. So the world system has transitioned from people being born young and growing old to people being born old and growing young. So the whole life cycle has reversed. What do you think you would like about this revolutionary change that has happened and why?
First of all, when you said that topic to me, suddenly I remembered a movie of Brad Pitt. I'm not sure about the title of the movie, but actually he was born as an old man, and later when he died, he was actually a newborn baby. So his aging was in a reverse cycle, as you just mentioned right now. So um, you are asking me how will it change or how will it impact the world? Is that
I'm asking you your take on this change that would happen to the world.
uh, it won't change much. I feel like it won't change much apart from numbers being a bit too big. I guess driving license will have to in 18 years old still the driving license to get a driving license or to get a permit or something let it be 18 years but you look like you're in your 90s or something. So it's kind of like if I go to the future and let's say the situation is like this and some random dude comes up to me and he'll be like, oh, how old are you? You look like you are in your 90s. I'll be like, look, I'm in my 20s right now. And they'll be stunned. I'll be stunned. So it's kind of like a not a mind blowing fact, but your mind, everything will take some time to get adjusted to it. And kind of like a unique concept, which it's quite fun to play with. Then the legal drinking age is also kind of tricky here, to be honest. Like, how will they identify the legal drinking age and all those things? Because for me, especially for me, I'm not sure about others, but all the old people kind of look the same. You can't differentiate most of the 70-year-olds with a mid 60-year-old. So now 18 and 15, they're just 3 years apart. Now, if an 18-year-old dude looks like a 85-year-old and a 15-year-old dude looks 90-year-old, I'm not sure how we'll come up with a ban, not a ban but a restriction. So it's quite funny there. So that's all I have to say about or my take on it.
Interesting take. We'll have to think about it later because I don't think such a situation is going to come anytime soon unless any one of us engineers will have to develop something like this and create babies who are old in the beginning and then turn young. Okay, what? I'm just getting mad thinking about the situation itself. Thank you so much, to, guest Abhinav. Toastmaster Shita, it's your turn.
You Toastmaster Namita, go ahead.
I have a tailor-made question for you. Okay. You are a therapist for haunted house ghosts. One of your ghost clients was afraid of the dark. Describe your session.
Thank you for the topic. Now, let me start by saying you shouldn't believe therapists, okay? Because therapists are literally meant to guide you to a better future. But what if the therapists themselves, they do not know what is the better future, what is the best path? I am now a therapist for a ghost who's afraid of the dark. First of all, I am not afraid of the dark. I would like to retract whatever statement I made in the beginning. I'm not scared of the dark. I just feel concerned for myself when I'm alone by myself in the dark. But obviously, I would feel the same for the ghost, right? So my little ghost client is now waiting for me to kind of, push them to the optimistic path of being scared of the dark. So the very first thing I would do would be to chuck them into a room, uh, probably with a lock and a key, switch off all the lights, and obviously lock them inside, right? Because exposure therapy, I believe that is a thing. You have to face your fears, etc., etc. So the ghosts will now have to suffer, let's say, 24 hours alone in the dark. Ghosts don't have to sleep, ghosts don't have to eat, so they just have to survive in the dark, right? And I think that will be a very good thing to do as a therapist because, first of all, not only am I helping the ghost kind of counter his fear, I'm also testing the ghost's courage. And, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. So I'm obviously helping my client overcome their fear, right? I think that would be the very best thing to do as a therapist because instead of just randomly being like, hey, everything's gonna be okay, you don't have to be afraid. You should be afraid. You have to counter your fear by being afraid. So, yes, my client would have to suffer or, well, not suffer, enjoy a wonderful 24 hours alone in a dark room. And the therapist is 5-star rated, by the way. Back to the table topics, Mas.
Excuse me. Ghosts are also to be treated kind. You just can't lock them into a room when they come for you for client guidance. And why is everybody locking people in rooms today? Every single question I asked, everybody just wants to lock people. I don't know. I hope nobody locks me in a room someday, sometime. Next up, let's go to our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Hashita.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you
Are
hear
you
the fear in
ready?
my
Don't get. I have a very nice, beautiful question for you. Imagine you are Sean. How would you think you will react to Ishita's take on coffee and caffeine?
I'm so happy you brought this up. I've been meaning to have to talk to someone about this. Guys, listen. I love coffee. I live for coffee. I figured out 2 weeks ago that I'm allergic to it. Turns out that's where my acne is coming from, not the terrible hostel water. It's the coffee. That's why my skin is this bad. So, turns out my greatest joy in life is something I'm allergic to. So, if I was Sean, and if Ishita comes up to me and she tells me she hates coffee, I'm just gonna agree with her. I'm just gonna be like, yes, you are right. Coffee is terrible because I'd rather live in denial and pretend coffee is terrible than have to watch my friends and family drink it every day and not be able to taste any myself. I'm 20 years old. My life has just begun, and I cannot have another sip of coffee. I mean, I can. I won't die, but it's better if I don't. So I'm just gonna go with Ishita here. Miss President, you are so right. Coffee, utterly terrible. I don't know how people drink it. It's so bitter. It's so bad. The next time coffee enters my mouth, I'm spitting it out and I'm high-fiving Ashita. She's completely right. If I'm Sean, I'm agreeing with her. Over to the table topics, Master.
Very unexpected turns this table topic session is taking. I expected people to answer taking my side, but this is going opposite. And I don't agree with you. Coffee is the best. I definitely don't agree with you because that's
I
literally
mean,
the lifesaver for. Okay, makes sense. But still, Coffee is a lifesaver that keeps every college student going, especially during exams. Period. That's it. Next table topic session. Who next? Shall we go for a duet session where two people have to speak on the same topic? Toastmaster Sriya and Toastmaster Shobna, are you available?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, so you both will be given two sides of a coin, if I may say, and you'll have to argue on your side. Okay, so the question is, you are two people who beliefs about world are different. One of you believes that the existing world is real, while the other insists that it's a simulation. Convince each other.
Who is taking which side? It's up to us? Or
If you want, you can choose, or I can give. I don't mind.
I'm fine with anything.
Okay, Toastmaster Sriya, you opt for simulated world, and Toastmaster Shobna, you go for real world.
We always start with simulation, right? So let's start the simulation first.
But aren't we living in a real world? So you go first.
I'll write. Okay. So the world we are living right now is the place where we born. I mean, yeah, it's the place where we born, where we grow up, and we do stuff by ourselves, and there's no possible way whatever we have is like a simulation or a illusion. We are going through stages, we are going through examinations. Whatever we went through during the semester time was real, for real, I'm telling you. All the sufferings, all the sleepless nights that we went through, running with coffee, you know, is real. It can never be illusioned and can never be a simulation, because all we did for ourselves and all we did for others at the moment, in any moment in our life, is something that we do it connectively. There is no way we, if it's an illusion, there is no way you feel connected to it. And whatever you do, you feel connected. And whatever you do, you take the accountability for it because you're connected to it. And there's no way, I'm repeating it, there is no way you connected with something in your illusions or simulations. So let Shreya continue.
I totally disagree with what Shobana said because have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why? Or opened the fridge and then started guessing what you came for taking? Congratulations, you might be in a simulation. Now I'm not saying that the world is not real. I'm not telling that. But have you ever noticed how socks disappear? Like you have one pair of socks, but then you only have one. Who's doing that? A sock goblin? No, it's clear system error. Okay, let's talk about dreams now. I once dreamt about a slice of pizza chasing me with legs. Why? Because the simulator got bored, and you know what? Let's shake this. Level 3 BRM. Okay, let's talk about relationships. All code. Think about your partner saying that they're actually fine and they're actually not. What do you think that is? Not normal human behavior. I think it's a simulated again, the corrupted subroutine. What about traffic lights? I guess you might think it's red, but actually turned out green, and then the car behind starts honking at you to move forward. And people who chew loudly in quiet rooms. What about that? They're also simulators, I guess. And me right now giving this speech for the 10th time, I guess, in my own mind, while you all think it's suspiciously in unison. No, it's definitely in loop. Someone's here telling me what to do. But here's the thing, even if we are in simulation, let's make it the best one possible. Let's upgrade our dialogue, patch our confidence bugs, and install this latest version of not caring what people think 2.0. So let's start living in the real world rather than what I just said about the simulation. Because it's not just me, it's somebody else telling me what to do. I wink silently. Thank you.
Thank you so much for driving me into this dilemma of whether this world is simulated or real. But I'll leave it to you guys. I'm not fighting, I'm just happy with whatever is happening. So let's move on. I guess we have two more people. Do we have time?
Preferably one more, but since it is online, you know what? Go for two more.
Done. Okay. So Toastmaster Siri, are you there?
I'm here, but I cannot switch on my camera.
It's fine. You just speak.
Okay.
So your topic is you are Earth, listening to both sun and moon who are emotionally sensitive and are fighting over who is more important to you. What would be your decision on this? Why and how would you console the other?
Okay. Honestly, I have dealt with so many needy people all throughout my life. I was like always there for my friends when they needed me, and they were never there for me. So honestly, I've learned to detach myself. I would just like turn it into like background noise and just like listen to them and be like, you know what, go ahead. It's like this is nice entertainment. I will just take popcorn and listen to them fight and be like, go ahead, it's fine. I don't care. I don't think I have the energy to console anyone anymore. I just do not have that energy anymore. I do not have that sympathy for anyone anymore. I would just sit there and enjoy the fight and be like, none of you is pretty. Go and die and leave from there. That would be my response because I genuinely do not have the energy to put myself in their shoes, think about them, and fight for them and solve their issues for them. I would just be like, this is your fight, solve it or solve for yourself, or like get lost. I am not your parent. I am not your mother to solve it for you. Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm sounding rude, but honestly, that's how I think I would react. Back to you,
Thank you,
table topics master.
Toastmaster Siri. I was just hoping at least you would not lock people in rooms. But you went further than that. You literally told them, go and die. Wow. Imagine a situation where sun and moon dies. You are left with only Earth in the whole solar system, just wandering alone like a cloud. Oh, I can't even imagine that situation. Okay, whatever. Thank you so much for your perspective on this topic, Toastmaster Siri. Last but not the least, we have one more question. Toastmaster Rishi, can you take it up?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So, your question is that everyone suddenly forgets who you are, even your family. How do you think you can prove yourself?
Okay, everybody forgets who I am. Nobody knows who I am. Do I have my ID proofs and such?
Nothing, it's just you.
Uh, okay, I think a lot of people say that I actually kind of look like my mother, so I will try to bring that. But I think they'll first be like, "Who are you? Why are you inside our house?" And they'll try to kick me out of the house, and that would be a problem in the first place. There'll be a lot of issues. I won't have anywhere to go. I will try to convince people that I actually studied with you, bro. Please vouch for me. I'll try to go to my relative's place, and I played here so many times. Please, somebody recognize me. I'll try showing some photos or something. Um, I'll try saying about my friends or my mother's or anybody's characteristics like, yeah, you do this, you like this. How can I know all this if I've not lived here for all these years? I'll try all these different things so that I could prove myself that I am their son. I don't think they'll be able to accept me fully, but still, I can just stick around and eat 3 meals a day and sleep under the roof. Enough for that. Thank you. Back to Toastmaster, Amrita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rishi. I hope such a situation doesn't happen to you and your view on this works if such a situation happens. So, with this, I believe we are done with everybody and it's time to come back to reality. I don't like this. I just want the reality to just go upside down, reverse itself, take a topple sider. So, it's okay. As we step back into the world of the familiar, please carry on your imagination, creativity, and boldness into your next conversation with whoever is close by to you, if they are real or simulated. No matter what, just continue speaking, continue imagining, and be creative as ever. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Namita. I think some of us might have a bone to pick with you. regarding the topics, but that shall be done towards the end of the meeting. So, with that, we have come to the end of the table topic session, and we shall now be moving into the evaluation session, starting with the individual evaluation for the prepared speaker. So, starting with the first evaluation, that is for Toastmaster Aarti's prepared speech. I call upon Toastmaster Aarti's individual evaluator, which is myself. So, control has been passed, and yes. So, today, Toastmaster Aarti presented her speech, The Journey of Takeoff, that is for her L5P2. And first of all, Toastmaster Aarti, congratulations on going beyond your time. The green part, that is, because I know the timing of the speech was something you were struggling with, but you did manage to achieve the timing for the speech. So, first of all, good job on that. So, starting with the evaluation, some major good things that I noticed about your speech was that, first of all, you had an engaging intro. So you started by asking the audience about their childhood and, if they've stayed in a particular place for so long. And I think that kind of you managed to bring the audience's attention to the very front at the beginning itself. So good job on that. And then there were instances of humor sprinkled throughout your speech. Like, for example, you mentioned how you were in the hospital and you didn't stay for too long in the hospital. Ironic. So I think that was a good thing that you had in your speech. And first of all, it is a professional speech, right? But I think your usage of humor throughout your speech kind of managed to anchor the audience's attention throughout. So that was a very good usage of it. And you had good relatable examples throughout your speech, things such as excuses for school, like you were unable to open your eyes, your legs were itching so as not to go to school. And the presentation itself, the overall speech, it felt like a travelogue and an autobiography of sorts. You had moments where you just emphasize yourself as a seraphic individual, but at the same time, you kind of showcase your ups and downs in life, and you picked apart each takeoff or each page or chapter of your life. And I think that was a very good thing to kind of have segues for your speech, because you went from how you were a baby to a very smooth jump to your beloved 10th class. And I think you maintained that throughout your speech. So good job on that as well. Towards the end, you also managed to sneak in a very wonderful conclusion, which is life goes on, right? You told us about how you felt in the past, about all these takeoffs and about these constant changes that you had. And you told us about the present, about how confused you were initially when you landed in Coimbatore and how you're feeling now. And you also kind of showed us your hopes for the future, right? How you're looking forward to your next takeoff and what all you have learned so far and how you're kind of inculcating it for the next chapter in your life. And I think that lesson itself, that life goes on, was a very good conclusion to your speech. So good job on that as well. So moving towards improvements, that is. I think in the beginning you just had a minor disruption in your speech. That is when you had to remove the PPT and showcase it again, right? Not sure if that is an internet issue, but again, ensure that you have your PPT and all your props and things for your speech set beforehand, so you won't have any disruptions. And I think you sped up at times towards the end of your speech. Maybe it was from the excitement of exposing yourselves willingly with your baby photos, but it's just something that you can manage next time. Just kind of keep an eye on the pacing of your speech, and just try to have a bit more of engagement, because towards the end you kind of lost on the engagement part. So, in a nutshell, very good intro, very good speech content. You managed to stay within the time limits of your speech. All you have to do is kind of have more engagement and work on the speech pacing. All right. Congratulations, Toastmaster Aarti, on your successful project completion. Back to the general evaluate myself again. And yes, that was the individual evaluation for Toastmaster Aarti. Moving on to the final individual evaluation, that is by Toastmaster Aditya for our table topic master, Toastmaster Namita. Toastmaster Aditya, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shita. I must say, Toastmaster Namita, that did not look like a first timer's job. Very well done. Congratulations on completing your L2P2. That is what I want to say before we get into any of this. And I love the fact that your intro addressed something most table topic masters don't talk about. We assume some sense of realism in table topics, whereas you addressed it directly. No, the Twilight Zone is going to be completely unreal. Forget everything you know. This is not that. I like that you addressed that from the very start. It like set the stage for all your topics. Then the topic I spoke about, these are your comments. So we'll go by case, because I think you had some wonderful comments here. You pointed out that I wasn't exactly an To give context to the audience, I'm usually a very optimistic person, even in my speeches. So the fact that Namita pointed out that I wasn't as optimistic a diary writer, very well listened to. Thank you for that. Then our other Toastmaster Aditya, when he talked about his first day, he didn't give you much to work with, but you still brought in the fact that you and him share a common thread, that he's your direct junior, and the first day felt similar for you. Then guest Advait with his apocalyptic ending. I like the fact that you immediately addressed what we were all thinking about, which is why would you shoot someone in the head when they knock on your door? Although I would make a suggestion is that when you're doing these comments, you can sort of weave yourself into them. You can be like, I knocked on the door and he shot me. Now Advait has no one left in the world not to be. You could have added that little bit of humor and made it your comment in that sense. You own it. Then Aarti locking aliens in the bathroom. Yeah, this is. I loved your comment on this one because it was so simple yet so effective. I hope it's not your bathroom because then we're going to have some problems. You should have thought them better. You brought up that poor teacher angle and played it up to an extreme. Like you will deal with the consequences. Then Benjamin Button, yes, the reverse for guest Abhinav. He brought up some very solid points about the drinking age, the driving age. And I think while you address the insanity of such a world, you should have pushed a bit more. I felt like he gave you the opportunity to call it out, such as you seeing like a younger looking person, like a cousin of yours, driving when their feet can't reach the accelerator. Like that sort of absurdity. I feel you could have called that out a bit more. Then ghost therapy for Ishita. She completely retracted her fear of the dark statement, which is why I like the fact that you brought it. We can't keep locking people in rooms. Like you connected it to Aarti's and brought this up. So it was very well done. That was a great comment. And as bad as I feel for Harshita, that was she gave you almost nothing you wanted. You wanted someone on your side, and no one was on your side today, and you rolled with it entirely. You addressed her and all of us before her, being like, everything's gone opposite today, but that's what I expected. That was a great comment over there. And then inception of basically humanity versus sorry, reality versus simulation. Here, I felt like you could have pushed a bit more. You didn't give too much of a comment, whereas I thought Shreya gave you a lovely reductio ad absurdum, meaning humanity is so absurd, I can't believe this can be real. I feel like that would have made for a great comment. So next time, try and push for that sort of thing. And then Sunvi Moon, I did not expect Toastmaster City to go and die. And the way you addressed it, yeah, don't lock them in bathrooms, eviscerate them from existence. That was a great like escalation tactic. So now we can see where this is going. And then global amnesia for Toastmaster Rishi, when no one remembers him. I guess it was more because of the time trouble. But he brought up a statement I would have liked you to comment on, which was if everyone forgot him and he woke up in his own house, the first question would be, why is there a stranger in my house? Why is there someone in the guest bedroom and no one should be there? So I feel like you could have added that. And honestly, apart from that, you've had a lovely table topic session. I have no complaints. This is amazing. All of these small twinges of improvement that you could have added in, such as putting yourself into it a bit more or digging a bit more for a better comment, all of these will just make you even better. But thank you. That was a lovely table topic session. Back to you, Chandra.
Toastmaster Aditya for your evaluation on Toastmaster Namita's table topic session. Now let's hear from my tag team. Let's start with Timer Toastmaster Silly.
For today's report, speaker, our Toastmaster Aarti spoke for 90 minutes 40 seconds. And coming to table topics, wait 1 second. Toastmaster Aditya spoke for 2 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Aditya Sitaraman spoke for 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Ishita spoke for 1 minute 54 seconds. Toastmaster Harshita spoke for 1 minute 24 seconds. Toastmaster Aarti spoke for 1 minute 6 seconds. Um, Guest Advait spoke for 56 seconds. Guest Abhinav spoke for 2 minutes 9 seconds. Toastmaster Shreya spoke for 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Shobana spoke for 1 minute 30, 1 minute 35 seconds. And Toastmaster Aditya, I'm so sorry, 1 second. Toastmaster Siri spoke for 1 minute 4 seconds, and Toastmaster Rishi spoke for 1 minute 2 seconds. And for the individual evaluation, Toastmaster Ijita spoke for 3 minutes 30 seconds, and Toastmaster Aditya spoke for 4 minutes 14 seconds. That's it for today's report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
It was necessary for that prompt report on the timing for today. Moving on, let's hear from the R counter of the day, Toastmaster Shreya.
The moment has come after intense eavesdropping, highly suspicious note taking, and at least three moments where I nearly gasped out loud. I bring you my seraphic R counter report for today. Today we witnessed a variety of filler words, a full buffet, if you will. Some nibbled on an innocent others squeezed so like it was going out of style. A few brave souls tried to disguise theirs as and. Nice try. My spreadsheet was not fooled anyways. So starting with Toastmaster Aarti. As her speech was so long, so is her filler words. Uh, I'm joking. So 3 hours, two so's, two ands, and she had repetitions of two oughts, two eyes, two mites, and one this thing. Toastmaster Harshita, one and one so. Toastmaster Ishita, three so's and two ands. Toastmaster Namita, two so's and three ands. Guest Advait, three ers and two so's. Guest Abhinav, three ers and two so's. Toastmaster Siri, three ands and two so's. And repetition, honestly. Toastmaster Aditya, two so's, one and two ers. Toastmaster Aditya Sitaraman, five ers, three ands, and one Toastmaster Rishi, all these repetition two, one and one so. Toastmaster Shobana, two so's and one And I'm out of great escape because nobody counted my filler words, neither myself. Totally uh, 7 hours, 17 so's, 15 ers, and 15 ands were used. I may take a nap or an exorcism, but in all seriousness, every speaker did a fantastic job, and every filler word was just a sign that you were brave enough to speak up, think on your feet, and push through the awkward. So, thank you for giving me something so obsessively to count today. I have fulfilled my duty for the third time in a row, and now I vanish into the shadows until the next week. Thank you. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya. It is always a delight to hear from you. You've got something up your sleeve each time. So, yes. Moving on to our final tag role player, our grammarian, Toastmaster Harshit.
Hello, everyone. So first of all, the word of the day was used by Toastmaster Aditya and by Toastmaster Shreya very recently within the past 2 minutes. So good uses of grammar. Firstly was Toastmaster Shreya's role introduction. The entire thing. I did not take down notes. I'm very sorry. I could have jotted something down, but I didn't have my pen with me. The second thing was Toastmaster Shreya's report. Once again, I don't know how I don't know how you speak like that. Genuinely, it's straight up impressive. And then journey of takeoff is a nice phrase. I don't need minuses in my life. Zero is good enough. That was nice. Drop sarcasm left, right, and center was nice. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it was my Seshitar, ever favorite philosopher. Thank you for that. And then bad uses of grammar. My leg is very itchy should be my leg is itchy. And on a mall should be to the mall. That's pretty much it for my report. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita, for that very accurate and prompt report. And finally, it is time for the general evaluator to shine. You will be hearing from me just once more. So I'm very sorry in advance. But yes, so for the general evaluators report, the meeting did start on time. All the role players joined on time. So good job, everyone. Just one request from my side would be to have the videos turned on frequently because again, it is an online meeting. So we can at least pretend that we're all together in room A203 and not behind our screens, right? So please do turn on your videos whenever possible. And all the role players did brief us about their roles promptly and accurately. Then for the prepared speech session, we had a wonderful long speech by Toastmaster Aarti. Good job on that. And for the table topic session, we had I would say one of the most chaotic table topic sessions. I'm pretty sure if this was offline, it would have been an absolute riot. But yes, also to the table topics master, you don't have to wait until someone volunteers. I think the best part about being the table topics master is that you can just toss someone into the hot seat and watch the chaos. So you don't have to wait for next time. Just pick someone and go for it. And yeah, I think you had a very good variety in your topics. You had, well, knocking aliens in bathrooms to having Harshita impersonate the immediate past president and go against me. So good variety in the topics. Then you did manage to call upon all the speakers. So very good usage of all the table topics as well. And then finally for the evaluation session, very good reports by everyone. I think we were all pretty time efficient for the evaluations, except for the individual evaluation. That is my bad. I may have gone overboard, but that is fine. To the tag team as well, wonderful introductions and wonderful reports to by all of you. You had very good introductions and you kind of kept notice of it throughout the meeting. So good job to the tag role players as well. And finally, we have gone beyond the meeting time, but it is fine. We shall pardon ourselves because it is an online meeting. But to all the role players in the future, please do take notice of the agenda so that we can kind of follow it. We don't have to follow it to a T, but it is there for a reason, right? So, yes, that is all for the general evaluators report. And I now pass over control to the presiding officer myself. This is the last time you hear from me, everyone. I have been keeping count. So, yes, I'm back, and I think we should have the forms in the chat. We do have the forms in the chat. Please take a moment and vote for your favorite speaker, for your favorite role player of the day. And I hope you all enjoyed today's session on a Thursday and not a Friday. I've lost all sense of time and day. Namita texted me, "Is it a Thursday?" And I was like, "Yes, it is a Thursday." As college students on summer break, we've lost all sense of time, no meaning without ATC meetings on a Friday. And I hope you all will continue to attend on Thursday because that is what people voted for. I see the VP nodding curiously. Yes. So please do join us whenever possible because we did send out a poll a couple days back to change the meeting schedules because I believe some of us weren't available on Friday. So the majority unfortunately voted for Thursday. So to the guests as well, for the online period, we may have changed the meeting schedules. It will now maybe mostly be held on Thursdays from 4:50 to 6. But yes, thank you for joining us. And on that note, would any of the members or the guests like to give us feedback? Feel free to accuse the table topics master of having very tailored topics, very specific topics. I think I shall accuse Namita later. I have a bone to pick with her, but I think Aarti has something to say as well. I see the facial expressions. Aarti, go on, Aarti. It's fine. You can be violent in meeting. It's totally fine.
No, I sent one sticker and I accused her and I disowned her. That's enough. That's enough.
All right. The mentee has been disowned by her mentor. Very unfortunate. But yes, such is life. Do we have the results? Yes, Samita. Two more people to vote. All right. Did I vote? Oh, I did not vote. That is my bad. I did vote. One more person. It should be, yes. To the one person, please do not hold back our disowned mentee. She needs to release the forms. Thank you very much. And I do not have any announcements, unfortunately, except for the fact that recently on May 4th, that is what, 4 days ago, we did have our division conference, and that was one heck of a day. A very long conference, and we had Toastmaster Shobana and Toastmaster Namita as the MCs for the event. And we also had Toastmaster Aditya as one of the speakers for the ISE, which is the International Speech Contest. It was actually a pretty good conference because, first of all, a lot more people came, and college was also a sponsor. So we had a pretty good time at the event. So, to all the members and guests, we do have upcoming events on a district level, on smaller area level. So if you would like to join, please do let us know. Because events such as these, even though they are mostly for networking, they do get you, they do expose you to food. They expose you to more people and more places. So, for example, this division conference was Pondicherry. Even though we did not get to fully explore Pondicherry, we did get to experience some parts of Pondicherry. So, I think maybe if interested, you all can join us in the future because an ATC trip is something we've been dreaming of for way too long, but with our college schedules, that is something that is not doable, unfortunately. We do have the district conference coming up. And the ticket prices may or may not fall. You did not hear it from me, but there might be special tickets coming soon or sooner or later. So if interested in attending the district conference that will be held on May 23, 24, 25 at IITM Research Park, Chennai, please do let me or the VP know the earliest. All right. Yes, and with that, we have the results for today. That is a lot of names. All right, starting with our best prepared speaker, first Master Aarti. Wow, congratulations. Next up, we have the best table topic speaker. Namita, did you send me the right thing? Okay, all right, wow. All right, the best table topic speaker goes to guest Advait, Toastmaster Aditya, Toastmaster Shreya, and Toastmaster Shobana, Toastmaster Rishi, and guest Abhinav. I think I just listed off like 6 names. Our VPPR isn't present in the meeting, but apologies in advance, Anand. You have 6 spaces for the poster. Congratulations to all the table topic speakers. For the best individual evaluator, we have Toastmaster Aditya. Congratulations. For the best role player, we have our table topics master, Toastmaster Namita. And for the best auxiliary role player, we have our in-house rapper of sorts, our counter, Toastmaster Shreya. Congratulations to all the winners, to all the table topic speakers actually of today's meeting. And with that, I would like to officially adjourn the meeting for today. Please do feel free to stay back and network or to leave the meeting. And please do switch on your camera so our SA can take a photo while we still have most of us. Toastmaster Shobana, can you switch on your video?
I'm quite an
And yes,
inappropriate